In the first few days of the 11th month of the year, all over our country, people remember the dead of 2 world wars, Guy Fawkes, and in parts of Sussex, something more. Lewes is an English county town. It's old and it's pretty, with a castle and a nick. It's got a brewery and a cattle market, and in the town centre, up past the War Memorial, you'll see a seat of justice. There. The Crown Court for all the countryside all around. The little town contains all the usual little shops, pubs and foreign restaurants, an Italian cafe and a very good Peking. It's got at least 2 sets of traffic lights and more than 2 tea rooms. There are all the usual clubs, associations and lively societies. And Lewes is the international headquarters for Greenpeace these days. Many citizens attend evening classes and compete in squash, tennis and mogul painting. They don't have a civic or a municipal bonfire in the county town of East Sussex. What they have are private bonfire societies, 5 of them, who scheme and subscribe all year long to produce on the night the rest of England call Guy Fawkes Bonfire Night, something that you could call a ritual. It's unique. On the afternoon of November the 5th, crowd barriers piled ready. And some of the stalls are taking security precautions. And then, if I look carefully, you'll spot on a corner here, up a street there, people all dressed up, like from another historical period. And no one in Lewes this day thinks there's anything odd about it.
Would you like to back a bonfire programme, please?
I've got one.
Oh, you've got one?
I think I've got one of the lot.
Oh, that's, yes.
What's going to happen tonight?
The bonfire celebrations of celebrating Guy Fawkes Night. There's all these grand processions. We just basically celebrate Guy Fawkes Night.
Oh, I see. Guy Fawkes. I asked anyone I could find, up this street and down the other. Are you involved in this?
Oh, very much so. I belong to the Waterloo Society. I'm an Archbishop for the Society, plus captain of the tableaus. And we're hoping to have a very good evening if the weather holds. Unlike this morning with all that wet weather.
You're an Archbishop?
That's right, that's right. That's my duty tonight. And when we get down onto the fire field with my other colleagues, we should be giving the crowd what for, a nice oration on local matters and national matters, and get all the crowd, trying to get them all worked up and involved and enjoying themselves.
What's it all mean?
Well, to Lewes it means a great, great deal. I mean, this is its 385th consecutive year. And as we know, the whole thing about November the 5th was an anti-Catholic plot, which now is just purely tradition, no more, and that. But it's something very, very special to Lewes, and it's all dear to our hearts, and we mean to carry it on and keep it going on.
Well, some godly citizens of Lewes do go away this night. For in one rough part of the old town, the rude banners are still strung across the street. But by and large, the whole town's happy to be involved. Almost everyone playing a part. These are Zulu chiefs?
They're Zulus, yeah, they're the pioneers.
Ah, so what was a samurai?
Well, there's only me in their society. I belong to another society as well, you see. But I wear this tonight, but I don't go with the other society tonight, you see. I belong to 2. One's Neville Jr., they got samurai, you see. But tonight I go with Burra. That's my old favourite. I've been going with them for 50 years, I expect.
What are you going to burn?
I don't
Japanese?
know. No. We don't say what we're going to burn until you get up at the fire.
So you don't know?
We don't know, no.
So, there'll be archbishops and samurai, and 5 societies. And as the November afternoon wears thin, those in on it can be found dragging tableau to position in the right place.
Are you interested in a bonfire programme? Not this year. You have done for the last 20 years.
Each society is selling its own programme.
Thank you. Bonfire programme.
shopkeeper's lad banks the whole day's takings, and the local shopkeepers on the procession routes bang some boards across their glass. But then they've always done this on November the 5th. And as lighting up time approaches, the police are out, halting through traffic and making sure the streets are cleared of parked cars. So what are you going to do tonight?
I'm going to walk up and down the street.
As Genghis Khan warrior?
Yeah. I'll carry the banner for Waterloo.
What's it say on the banner?
Waterloo. And it's got the crest of Lewes, the badge of Lewes.
What's the purpose of it all?
It's to celebrate Guy Fawkes. You lost, didn't you?
No, I know who Guy Fawkes is. And what can we look forward to tonight?
A spectacular night, honest. It should be really good.
Everything, yeah.
It should be fantastic.
And then, suddenly, at the bottom of town, something happens. There are figures and flames and running pirates and burning barrels, and then it's gone. And if you'd have been and gone uptown, you'd have missed that bit. The 5 different bonfire societies will all remember and satirise different traditions and different pet hates later. First, all of them. It's the thing they do now. All of them will process almost religiously up to the town's war memorial to lay a wreath. The first to process to the War Memorial are the Commercial Square Bonfire Society. Their members mainly dress as Red Indian braves. They don't say why. They have one man member dressed up as an archbishop and a multitude of Indian braves and squaws in painstakingly constructed costumes. Medicine men, sun dancers and Apaches in full tribal regalia. And they'll march to the War Memorial with their bands, and they stand here solemnly and lay their wreath to the last post and trumpet. And then they've gone. But as they leave down one street, up another street you see more torches, different costumes, more music, another society. There'll be 5 processions similar to this. Fiery cross, a wreath of fireworks, and a wreath of flowers. I don't know what to make of it, or if you should make anything of it. There are how many people in this society? 200? More than that. All painstakingly dressed up on their way to the War Memorial. While crossing the river, This society has a custom they describe on their programme as in the true tradition of bonfire. Hurling a blazing tar barrel down into the River Ouse. It's a powerful mixture to watch. All the societies do at Bonfire remember those who died for freedom and the British Empire. Pirates and Zulus. With their bright torches and death's heads. It's 8 o'clock in Sussex, in the High Street. Surely you need a permission to do this sort of thing. But how could you stop it? They're not doing it for Cecil B. DeMille or the tourist board. They parade for themselves, every one of them. This is the big set piece for the town, the United Grand Parade that we're waiting for, when all the societies will come through the main street of Lewes. All of them except one. One of them doesn't take part. They're all going to bring their tableau through except 2 or 3, and they're going to save their tableau for a private bonfire which the societies will have on their own. 3 of the societies are going to burn a pope, but not here. They do that privately. They'll all have scaffolds. They'll all have bonfires, except this year one of them can't have a bonfire because the site isn't big enough for it to be safe. But it's bonfire, and it's magic. Here they come. Did I say burn a pope? Well, that is later. Ah, Guy Fawkes. We all know about Guy Fawkes. There he is, right by the law courts. And another Red Indian. Bang, bang, that's Waterloo. And some Genghis Khans and Siamese Watsits. Borough Bonfire Society, this lot. And there's the key to the borough. I saw him in the sweet shop this morning. There's another Guy Fawkes, that's 2. Ah, coming up, there's that cannon. They would, wouldn't they? Blow it off by the Crown Court. The one society that takes no part in the Jolly United Grand Parade is the Cliff. For they remember 17 Protestants burnt to death in Lewes by bloody Catholic Queen Mary in the 1550s. For on the hill above their end of town, you'll find in granite the Martyrs' Memorial. So on the 5th of November, they fire a replica of that 17 times for the 17 put to death in their town for their religious freedom. It's not yet 9 o'clock, and you can't hardly breathe for the cordite and smoke and the firecrackers beneath your feet. When everyone traipses off out to the town centre, to the quarries and the fields, where the archbishops will deliver their addresses and the destruction of effigies and tableaux take place. Each society's out. Clergy do everything they can to incite the crowd into giving the guy a really good send-up. Now, this is not what's meant by the Archbishop of a bonfire society. This is... yes. They say they have to do it. It's the Lewes tradition. This is a stuffed pope about to be blown sky high. Which pope was it? Oh, the South Street Bonfire Society's pope. In which case it's the gunpowder plot pope, Pope Paul the 5th, 1605 to 1621. Now this is the Archbishop of the biggest society, and his fellow bishops are all his relations, father and son. Generations of speaking the extended speech to the crowd up the quarry.
Justice! We will therefore bring the Pope from his resting place in the garage, and he will be put into his chair! Burn the Pope! Burn the Pope!
And the crowd chuck bangers at him. Well, there goes another one. On the other side of town, Postman Pat. Oh dear. In the recent past, various societies have burnt Margaret Thatcher and the Argentinian junta, the local planning department, Ronald Reagan, Arthur Scargill, Idi Amin and Kruger of the Transvaal. It's turned out it's the Cowboys and Indians' turn this year to say bye-bye Maggie, bye-bye. The ship of state, I think that was. It's always a closely guarded secret, the set piece to set ablaze on bonfire.
So now you've seen what we can do with the guy and what we can do with the Pope. And now we are going to give the Frenchman what for?
They'd gone and built Rainbow Warrior and set upon it President Mitterrand with French onions strung around his neck and the Society's band play the Marseillaise. Highly successful, international, but with a local flavour. Ah, November the 5th. It's always a bad night for statesmen in Lewes. This is a society returning to the centre of town after burning 2 effigies and a tableau. Each society parade back in some state for a final bonfire prayers, which are not a highly religious occasion. This particular society, the Braves and Squaws lot, set up their prayers outside the town's police station. When you think about it, we could all get arrested for this.
Right, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to all the support that we've had from the Constabulary, St John's Ambulance Brigade, and all affiliated associations that go to help the 5th of November. A great success.
And that's a real policeman. And then you realise all over town people were saying these prayers, lighting bonfires in streets and dancing Auld Lang Syne through the flames. It's the event of the calendar in Lewes. Bigger than Christmas and Mardi Gras. Should old acquaintance be forgot? It's the sort of thing you could do on Trafalgar Square at New Year's Eve. Only they wouldn't let you light a bonfire there. And there'd be an awful lot of police. And the very last thing that happens on November the 5th is the Cliff Society have their bonfire prayers. And it's to their bonfire prayers that the aficionados, the real fans of all the other societies, come down here to the cliff. Just imagine if you did this outside the police station at Handsworth. But only one person got badly burnt all night. Number of arrests, 6 precisely. So many people in costume. I feel now out of place without one. And like ants, they all know what to do from one ceremony to another, doing this year what they did last year and will do next year. Having fun, and more than fun. it's difficult to imagine it ever happened. It's easy this morning to understand why 364 days in the year, people from round about here who come into Lewes to catch the train, to visit the market, to call in at the brewery, to pick up the beer for their parties, they know about Bonfire, they've heard about it. But until you see it, you don't understand how strong it is, how it involves almost everyone in the community, and how it touches something deep in maybe all of us. And only then can you begin to understand. Once upon a time, the authorities read the Riot Act to the bonfire societies, called out the militia. But last night, in the middle of a traffic junction, I saw Red Indians dance on the flames. I haven't heard a single banger this morning.
Oh, I shouldn't think so. My head's still ringing from last night. No, I expect most of it's gone now. Just the odd bits and pieces left. A lot of clearing up. And that after a fabulous night.
Bishop Barry had written his sermon and duly delivered it. Next morning, he's unfrocked. You know when you make those speeches that bishops make,
Yeah?
do you think it ever has any effect?
Not at all. I shouldn't think so at all. I think, yes, in the old days, the old speeches were actually copied down and given to the local press and reported word for word. But not nowadays, I don't think so much. Anyway, I hope not. Don't want to upset too many people.
Does that mean the meaning goes out of it?
Not at all. It's the tradition of having the bishop there and what he says and being a target for fireworks, quite frankly. That's what you are, a target to get blown up.
Okay, Jim, another coming.
Take the banner down. 1557. Pack the poppies away. You finished? Looking back? Derek Carver, Tom Wood, James Morris, Mary Groves. I suppose this is one of the reasons they remember. Along with Guy Fawkes and the dead of 2 world wars, who stood up in their way for what they believed in. And perhaps last night is a celebration of the freedom to do just that. Means many things, Bonfire, including the liberty to run through Tom Paine's town with flaming torches, to be able to light a bonfire in the street outside the police station and throw crackers at the clergy on just one day, once a year in Lewes.